Hey, hey.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Good evening.
You did
So,
really well with those videos.
oh, thank you, thank you. Um, so we're having a ladies' night kind of stream today, chat.
And it feeling right. Oh, what a
So,
night.
yep. So Leroy's still, hunting chupacabras, and he's like, "Hey, Vanessa, can you go to the stream, check my mail? You know, make sure the damn neighborhood kids aren't jacking up my freaking garden." I'm like,
Staying off his lawn.
staying off the damn lawn and all of that stuff. So I'm checking his mail, and he gave me, keys to the kingdom. So, when the cat's away, the mice will play, kind of deal. All
Yes,
right. So
yes.
let's, yes, yes. So let's go say hello to the chat. So we have Smart RN. Hello. How are you doing?
Hello.
John Malin saying strange vibrations in my pants too. Well, I mean, hopefully Faye could go help you out with that. I mean, that would be pretty good. Citizen Ronan is up in here. Hello. Lord Raging Goblin, it's been a minute. It's good to see you. Amanda saying hello to everybody. And then Malin's like, ladies' night? What?
Yeah, the other boys are busy too.
Yeah. Well, I mean, people got a little promotion. People have, some family issues going on. And then somebody is hunting chupacabras.
Very
Ronan's
important.
all about this ladies' night.
Don't worry, we won't get too girly with the stuff. Oh,
And
we'll
then
save the pillow fight for later.
Skip Edwards is hello, the chat minus Leroy? Question mark. He's hunting chupacabras. We cannot stop him from doing what his heart desires. And right now, it's the chupacabra.
Mm-hmm.
We got Mackie in the house. How you doing? And of course, Bert's. And John Malin saying shots, and I don't think so.
No malt liquor?
No malt liquor. No. I mean, I have electrolyte water drink. I don't even know if you could hear that. All
I
right.
heard tapping of some sort.
It's tapping
I
on.
would shake mine, but instead of ice lately, I've been using frozen berries. So I have frozen
That's.
blackberries in my drink.
Ooh, look at
That won't
that, so
make any sound.
fancy.
Yes, yes.
She's like, I get a little taste of fruit. So do you put that
Helps
in
to
like
sweeten it up.
tea or like just water? You just put like frozen whatever.
Right now it's like a seltzer. It's blackberry seltzer, and then I added some Caribbean, the coconut rum, the Malibu,
Mm.
and then I had the frozen blackberries.
Listen to this, Skip Edwards. Send John Malin the link. I need representation. Listen, we're both Comicsgate. We're all 42-year-old men. So you just have two reasonably prettier 42-year-old men running this stream.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. So Pete Callan, Wrench War veteran. What is this malarkey? This is some straight up shenanigans. Both of us are charlatans and vandals, and we just took over this channel.
We're gonna
It
keep a
happens.
similar format. No worries.
Yep. And look, John Malin's like, the ladies got this.
Of
Thank you
course.
for your vote of confidence. And then Chris Stanley showed up. So, hey.
I'm like, what's he pointing to? But it's little beers, right? I was thinking it might be sandwich.
Yep. So, Amanda, you ready to go?
I'm not sharing, but yep, hang on.
All right. You act like you haven't done this before.
It's been a couple weeks.
It really has. Oh, man.
All right, I think we're good. Let me know when you see it.
I can't wait until these men come back to do work. All right.
You got this.
All right. I'm ready for you to talk.
Okay, so closing in 5 days is the Ace Volume 2, Edwin Acevedo. And let's see, opening this week, which was tonight, we had Shadowpunk. Oh, hang on. I still had it up from when it didn't launch. So this launched at 9 o'clock. So about an hour ago, because it was a little after 9, on Bancroft's channel. Already at 47 backers, $2,450. I know there was quite a few people waiting for the launch of this one because it's something different.
Wait, I have a question.
Okie dokie.
So it's one girl against the City of Evil?
I guess so.
I thought we were all sexist here in Comicsgate.
You know, and I think it's a young girl. Does that
It's a
make
young
it?
girl too. I guess
Yeah.
that makes it more scandalous.
Because one girl survives, lost and alone. She's on a mission to find her family. Can she do it? Will she be strong enough to uncover the lies and break through the barriers in her way?
I mean, you didn't have to read all of that.
There's more.
There-
But yeah.
All right.
So a pretty
And then-
strong launch tonight. And then last, but definitely not least, Groken 2. Launched on
Never heard of it.
Tuesday night, Wednesday morning, however you want to look at it.
I mean,
Never
technically
heard of it.
Wednesday.
Where have you been?
I don't never heard of it. What are you talking about? I was some of you were here with me on this channel at 3:00 in the morning. Kenneth Rocafort also joined us in the chat. He decided to be a man of the chat that day.
Yep.
So yeah,
It was still fun though. I enjoyed that
it
one.
was fun. It was fun, and of course, I didn't back because I was hosting. Everybody else got a low backer number.
I felt so bad for you. I would have been there. I would have been like, all right, everybody hold the press because I'm backing. And that's pretty much what I did. But I definitely would have made note if it was you.
That's because sometimes when you're a good host, you sacrifice, like you make sure the house is clean. You buy hamburgers and sandwiches for everybody. You make sure there's chips and drinks and everything. And then the people who come in, hopefully don't jack up your house, that they're good guests, and then they leave. And then your backer number 73.
You're definitely a good host. And you took a little bit to back, but you really weren't like that late in backing because you were on for a little over an hour, I think. So it was maybe 20 minutes after the launch that you actually backed and got like 70 something, it wasn't. Yeah.
And I mean, that was, and again, everybody in Comicsgate has opinions, right? Thank God. We're all thinking men of pleasure, 42-year-old men of pleasure here in Comicsgate. And we're all thinking men. But the good thing about Comicsgate is everybody's able to run their own formula. So there is a proven formula that's out there. John Malin does the John Malin method where you got to get it when the getting is good and I'll shut this down.
Mm-hmm.
Rocafort prefers not to stream, and it is what it is. And he prefers to launch when it's that day in his time zone. So that's how he does too.
3 a.m. on the East Coast, where pretty much everybody else is.
Yeah, he did. The thing is that Rocafort does not believe in East Coast supremacy. That's what it is. He does not believe. Yep. All right, so let me catch up with the chat. We do have a couple things to talk about, but let's go say hi to people. Let's see here. Skip Edwards said my answer was the best answer. Pete was like, "Oh snap!" All right. So you guys are saying hello to each other. Chris Sandley, he's guilty me because I've been lazy about this subject, and we're going to talk about that later.
We will.
Yes. Lord Raging Goblin, I feel like I need to say this with some sort of weird girly accent. Let's go. Let's do this. Gay fruity girl drinks, beer with whiskey with chasers is the way. That was bad. I apologize, Lord Raging Goblin, but I didn't even feel good about that one. All right. So Chris Stanley's saying that he's saying hail all, but he's driving. Well, I hope you're enjoying us from the speakers of your vehicle. Yeah, please, and don't tailgate. Pete Callan says, "What the fuck is Shane trying to stream over you?" Listen, that, his serious note, his household took a loss earlier this week. The Yanzi Lin hurt her inking arm while planting plants in her garden. She's okay. She's gonna live, and so is her inking arm. But we're gonna pour pour one out for that homie. We almost lost a great Comicsgate inker due to hydrangea or whatever the hell she was planting. So there's that.
It was a close call.
So is this Joe Low
140?
art or Joel O art?
Joel O? I don't know. Joel O.
Oh. Well, so Joe is saying Groken 2 is $140 away from matching Groken 1. Yeah, this, for a campaign that people would say is doing everything wrong, it's doing pretty freaking well. And one of the biggest factors is that Groken 1 exists. Lord Raging Goblin says the evil must be defeated. I'm all about it. The evil is fourth wave feminism. I'm all about that first wave feminism. I don't know about this fourth wave. I like it when something is brand new and you get it off that first run, and then we get the imposters who come in later. All right. She dies, then a big, strong man comes along and makes the story better. Okay.
Referring to Shadowpunk.
So Mo Biggs is up in the house. I think I don't know if Fizz is banned on this channel or not.
I don't know either.
I don't know. I don't have access to that part of the house. So Smarter End saying that he's hanging out until Shane starts. I mean, you men of pleasure out there, if you have two screens, you could do both. I'm just saying. Stippling Vaughn says hail to chat. Got Stato up in here. Said, hey, it's one of the best shows is on. And it looks like it's a ladies' night too. It is.
It is.
Everybody is hanging out. And then Roquefort's art baffles my mind. It's insane. I'm with you there. Oh, snap. It did one of those things that everybody complains about. Here we go. Lola. Hi, Lola. Okay.
Leroy's hunting Chupacabra.
Chupacabra. I have zero opinions, and I have. Is that having? Oh, okay. Haven't pleasured anyone in my life. Well, I mean, if you're a priest, Pete Callan, that would make sense.
Don't priests in some sort of way?
We're gonna try not to get Leroy's freaking.
No, I'm just saying there's different forms of pleasure and enjoyment. But carry on.
This chat is about to go on fire just because you said that. Smarter End said Happy Father's Day to all the fathers in the chat, and we'll say Happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day.
Raging Goblin says, how did you know my voice sounded exactly like that? I have people. Little minions out in the world. General Piggy is up in here. And of course, he's guilty to me. Damn, you made me feel like somebody died. No, she sprained her like elbow or something. But again, like we almost lost a great CG inker who elevates Shane Davis's art to another level because his art is okay. But when Yanzi puts them inks on it, you know what I'm saying, Amanda? You can ruin Shane's night and invite Yanzi to stream with you. That would be. I actually miss Yanzi. I know you weren't necessarily the biggest watcher of Shane's streams.
Yeah, he started too late.
Yeah,
he used to be on like 8 or 9, and then he went to like past my bedtime.
Because as you know, Amanda is CG's mom, and she has to make sure all the kids are in the bed, and sandwiches are made for school tomorrow, so she has a bedtime. But yeah, that would be hilarious, and I do miss Yanzi on stream, especially with Change.
Yeah,
and if you ever have been in that chat and you put in a super chat, and it doesn't get read until like 2.5 hours later, that's because Yanzi's not there. If Yanzi was there, it would get read immediately. But yeah, so we miss her, but that darn dinosaur that they had last year, for some reason,
the cute dinosaur
requires a mommy, and it is what it is. Not the priest of my hood. Nah, or nah, what I'm saying. Okay, cool. So Citizen Ronan says, I take pleasure in liberal tears. I mean, those radical liberal tears I enjoy. But I mean, not, not everybody's like that. All right. So, and then
Praise
General,
be.
praise be Yanzi. And John is like, bedtime? What is that? I know. It's the joys of being 42 years old, right? And then, of course, I have to recognize my frenemy. That's not who I wanted. My frenemy. Hello, Eddie Winkler. How are you doing this
Hey,
evening? All right. So let me go share something so you guys have something to look at. And it would have been better if I pulled up YouTube, but it is what it is. So really quickly,
if you pulled up YouTube,
like,
because of the topic.
Because of the topic. So
Gotcha.
you guys know that I kind of keep an eye on the platforms that we use. So I've talked about changes in the the Indiegogo terms of service. Mentioned some changes in YouTube. So there's going to be some changes to YouTube that will affect people who stream. All right. So one of them has.
Where did you hear about this? Because when you mentioned it, it's the first time I even heard any inkling of anything.
Okay, so as far as development of the platform, like the YouTube platform, right now YouTube Gaming is what's pushing innovation on the platform. So YouTube Gaming's biggest competitor is Twitch, and basically a lot of the features that are in Twitch are getting adapted and brought over to YouTube. So one of the features that is on Twitch is a raid, which basically means when a streamer ends their stream, they could send their audience to a different streamer. So that feature is already live because I know Bancroft did it with Lord Crackhead. So that's basically the streamer would have to set that up in their YouTube, and then the person that they want their audience to be moved to has to be already streaming. So that's something the creators would have to go and set up themselves. The second thing, and this may be fun for the chat, but this is another income thing for the people who are monetized, is they're doing, and Bert's is on it, gifted memberships. So gifted memberships is in beta right now with YouTube gamers, with YouTube gamer accounts. So some of you may be like, what the hell does gifted memberships mean? So first, a creator would have to have memberships turned on. So they would have to qualify, and then, you pay whatever. It tends to be about $5 a month. And allegedly you get access to additional things on that channel. So it's a paywall. So what gifted memberships are is that the members can gift memberships, and it'll be for a month. So I think the max right now is a person could gift 50 memberships, but it goes like 5, 10, 20, and 50 is, I think, the highest right now. And that means for a month, for the people who accept, allow their account to accept the membership, is that you could at random get a membership on a channel.
So are you saying that I could donate memberships to, say, Bancroft, who does have memberships turn on, and then he would pick who would in turn get those?
No, it's based off how well, first you have to accept it. So on Twitch, it would just be a rando person, apparently a rando person. If they just happen to be in your chat, like they could get a gifted membership.
Okay.
So you actually have to set, there's a way, basically
I would have to have it in my settings set up to do so.
No, you would see the gifted membership, you would click on it, and there's a setting that says accept membership. It's only for desktop right now. It's not set up for mobile yet. It's still in beta. It's still in testing. So you click on it, you accept membership, and then the next time somebody does a gifted membership, you have the possibility of getting it. And then it's the algorithm. So the more interactive you are with a channel, the more likely you could get a gifted membership.
Oh, okay.
So that's going to be an interesting thing moving forward, especially with some of the channels that have like extra perks. I mean, and I mean like extra physical perks, because I know a lot of like Bancroft's channel, you get behind a paywall and you could see Painted Death, or like Mandy's channel, she does a lot of member only streams. Ethan's channel, that may be the, you know, because he does physical perks. So imagine you get a gifted membership and he has a trading card thing. But like, I guess you get that trading card.
Yeah, but usually you have to like send an email with your address to make sure that the channel owner has it, right?
But
because I know when I signed up for like Fragus, I had to submit my address to his email so he could send me physical perks. So you would have to know that as a member, but I suppose the more involved you are, you would know that, right?
And I'm sure like, and I mean, I'm not a member of any channel, so I don't know what that looks like for a person who is a member of a channel. But that could be interesting for, I mean, that could be a boon because it's still money, right? Like it's somebody paid out.
Right. Well, I was just thinking if you are looking at physical perks, you know, you would definitely need to know where to send your address to gain those perks. And if it's such a short time of a month, that could risk whether or not the person would need to be on it to be able to take advantage of that.
Yep. So let me get with the chat real quick. So Eddie says hello. It's always good when you recognize your frenemies. See, all of you are saying I'm not going to point out it takes two ladies to do one Leroy job. Wage gap kind of explains itself. Just saying. The last time I checked, Leroy had, including himself, 5 people on his panel.
I was going to say, I'm not doing any more than I normally do. Vanessa's taking Leroy's job.
I know. It's like, Amanda's like, I'm just here for the ride.
Yes.
Okay.
Pretty much. So
Prater 7 has joined us. Hey, what's up? Glad you could join us. Bert said that. And of course, P. Callan says, I hate fun. God damn it, Pete. Why? So Prater says Ricada's channel has gifted memberships working. Like I said, I know it's in beta. Not everybody has it.
I'm pretty sure Bancroft has the ability to do it too, because I think I heard somebody talk about how somebody purchased like 5 of them or something. But once they were purchased, I didn't know what happened beyond that.
Yeah, this 5 people got a gifted membership. That's what happened.
Okay.
All right. So Pete Callan was just explaining what the paywall is. Hicks Villain. Did I say hello to Hicks Villain? I forget.
I don't know. I think this might be the first time I've seen him in this chat.
Well, hello.
Tonight, I should say.
Tonight. I know. Hicks Villain.
I saw him earlier tonight.
Yeah, you did? Where at?
Bancroft's channel for the Shadowpunk launch.
John Mellon says no membership on my channel. He's like, I don't need that nonsense. Just give the money straight to me. You don't need to give anybody extra perks. All right, so Pete Callan. In Ethan's case, when it's time to send goodies, he'll first post the link in the membership part of his channel. So, I mean, I guess for him, it would be effectively the same as a new channel member. Like, just click the link, put your mailing address in, get your free card. Like,
not bad.
So not bad. Okay, so here we go. So Lord Raging Goblin, Amanda is correct. You do have to fill out a brief form, which is a real pain in the arse, honestly. However, there was 1 or 2 times I forgot to do it, and Ethan still sent my cards.
Customer service.
Ethan overall is pretty good at that. So Citizen Rose says, so Is YouTube heading towards basically a members only website per channel? That's what I'm wondering. Possibly. I mean, because what you already have the YouTube if you don't want any commercials. And you have all this other stuff. It's basically it's a business. They're trying to make money. That's what it comes down to.
I have a quick question before we move on. Now, you mentioned that Mandy does members only streams, and I noticed that Rini does members only streams.
Mhm.
What, like, you can only watch it live if you're a member? Like,
No,
how does that work?
I know.
You don't know?
Because, you said two ladies' names. Like I said, I'm not a member of any channel.
Yeah, okay.
But I know
if anybody else can answer that.
Well, I mean, a lot of it is like you can't see the stream. Like only members could see it. I know there's ways in YouTube where you could put your actual like streams or videos into member mode. So instead of like privating it, it's like you're in member mode. That's what Anna does with a lot of her streams before she moves it to her stream archive.
Okay.
Delicious. So John Malin is saying, why is Shane trying to rub his Keone cover in my face?
Well, in response to that, though, if everybody and their brother, except for John Malin, has a Keone cover, how special is that cover, really?
Well, I mean, I guess if you're John Malin, they're all special because he doesn't have one.
I don't know. I think it might be part of the Cool Kid Club to not have one. It's more special.
It's more special that way? I mean, that's one way to... I mean, John can make that argument. So Hicks Villain is saying that he's everywhere and he's nowhere. So what he's saying is that he's kind of like Batman, except for maybe not a billionaire. All right. So John Malin wants to know if there's any Simpson here to answer that. I think you gave a reasonable comeback to him.
No, he's questioning, I think, the membership views. Like, if you're live streaming, it doesn't only like stream to those memberships. Because we both mentioned Mandy and Mandy and Rini.
Well, and like I said, Anna. Well,
yep.
Like
it's just the girls that want the membership views.
Hey, well, I mean,
I don't know of anybody else, but that's okay.
That's all right. All right, so Pete Callan, I believe if you were a member and the stream was over, you could still watch it as long as the creator keeps it up.
Okay, so if you like live stream, everybody has access to it, but once you can like private it or link only or whatever, that's when it's only available to members still.
I guess so. So Stato is like no impact, no idea. John says wolf milk, don't simp. Fair enough. All right, so Leandro said Ethan has streams where he critiques and rips Iceman comics for members only. It's actually hilarious. So there you go. Ethan does do member only streams.
Oh yeah.
Del Mar, we need Dale doing a book storytelling. Covers are cool. I'm getting them all, but let him draw some books. Trust me, Del Mar, I think at least 99.9% of Comicsgate would be all over a Del Keone campaign where he is the cover artist. John Malin is just saying correct. So I'm obviously the jacked up one, so you must be correct.
No, I think he's referring about the wolf milk don't simp.
There you go. Prater says, back in my day, we just listened to the radio. Fair. And you know what? I'm going to leave Pete Callan's thing just in there because this is a neutral zone here in the wrench wars. And I understand that the wrench wars are still happening. So we're Switzerland here. All right. So that was that. Let me see what else. Cool. All right. So I'm going to do an oldie, but a goodie. So many of you, let me take that off. How many did we have on Wednesday in here? Probably like 15, right?
Yeah, it wasn't a
something like
huge
that.
turnout, but it was still fun. I think a lot of the the first few backers were in that chat, which was nice.
Yeah, oh, I know for a fact we had backer 1 through 4 in
Yeah.
our chat. So
Hmm.
I woke up at butt crack and the videos on Leroy's channel. It was about an hour and a half. I started an hour prior to midnight midnight California on the west side, and I stayed on for about an hour after launch. And I wouldn't call it a launch stream. I would call it a
Launch watch stream.
I would call it a misery loves company stream. Like I didn't want to be by myself looking at a computer waiting for Broken 2 to go live by myself. So why not turn on the stream and figure out what the heck is going on? So let me get this here. And I do this at work where I type live and I don't understand why I do this to myself because I cannot spell and it's painful. So you're gonna have to forgive me, chat, but for
So, the grammar Nazis, sorry.
I know. So all the grammar Nazis, sorry, but in all fairness to me, the hillbilly has been doing this for almost 2 years. These top 5 or top 10 lists. So Amanda,
Ooh, that's nice and big.
because I'm not squinting.
No, I know that's good. I just remember like when Leroy does a list, I'm like, I don't even know that I can read what he's writing.
Okay.
And
No,
hello
we're-
to Phil who joined us. Phil with 2
All
L's.
right. So before we start this, let's go catch up with the chat. Let me go. Okay. So I said that
well,
one.
wait. Do you want to say what we're doing? Because obviously we're making a
No,
list.
listen.
What kind of list?
Yeah.
Well, they can start their list.
Well, I mean, chat could just be in anticipation.
Okay.
Oh, you know what? You're right. We shouldn't do that. Do the dear men of pleasure, men of the chat. So we're doing our top 10
Top
favorite top 5. Thank you, because I don't. She'll be like, I don't have. Oh my god.
Top 5.
This is why I need you, Amanda. Imagine I'm doing a solo show.
Well, you panicked me for a minute. I'm like, I only have 5, Vanessa.
You're like, I only have 5. Holy shit. All right. So we're doing our top 5 launches. It doesn't, it could be whoever. I have my list, and some of you should not be surprised on what's on this list. All right. So I'm just trying to find. Okay, I did that one. I'm not going into the wrench war. So Bert's is saying hello to Leandro. Leandro saying hi to Bert.
Leandro.
I guess we'll say hello to Philip. Hello, Philip. And hail to you too, sir. He actually has a nice setup for his Friday show. Has a little studio. It's him and his brother. He's able to have in studio guest. I know it's Saturday, and that kind of sounds like shilling and simping. No, it's just statement of fact. It's a nice studio. This Zaid, like I said, Leroy ain't here.
Sorry, I was laughing at Stato's comment.
Okay, I am lost. My God, here we go. I didn't even know y'all were doing that. I actually thought it was popping off when's midnight, not morning. Like yeah. Well, I mean, at least it wasn't like a true ninja launch where like no one knew he was gonna freaking press the go button at midnight. That's that's why we had a lot of early backers on the stream, because like Roquefort told us, like, I just processed it. It should be up soon. And everybody just became, besides me, everybody became a crackhead.
1 minute, actually, probably even 3 minutes before midnight. I'm like, maybe he slipped on the button and hit it too soon. I'm like refreshing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he actually put in a comment like, hey, I just submitted it. It'll take a few seconds. All right. So Bert's is saying hi to Phil. Pete Callen is giving me a little, he's like, hey, calm down, Vanessa. You're going to do a great job. And by the way, I can't read anyway.
Mm-hmm.
That's nice and big. That's what she said. That is what she said. And that works both ways, Amanda, because it's just us. So Citizen Rodent's like, shopping list? Like, yeah, I haven't.
Well, I guess in some terms, because, yeah, I backed all these campaigns.
Yeah, I did too. Hicks Villain says it's small, a screen friendly size. Well, there you go. Let's see here. I'm cracking my knuckles. That's not good for you. I mean, your joints. Unless you're about to like Bruce Lee somebody about to get into a fight. Like, as your spiritual advisor, I don't recommend that. Stato says Vanessa has Roquefort 5 times on her list. Amanda has him at number 4. I guess we don't have to do this exercise, Amanda.
Stato has us figured out.
Stas has us figured out. What are we grading upon? Upon how much you like the stream.
Because these are launch streams. Yep.
These are launch streams. Pete Callan says, don't compliment him, Vanessa. That shit looks like a Gen Z casting couch. I didn't say it. I didn't say that, Philip. He's accusing you of some shit. But I mean, like, listen, in all fairness, he put some time and effort. Granted, he has not Elizabeth Taylor, Elizabeth Hurley in the background.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of neon. It does kind of look like something straight from it. Damn it, he does have.
Probably shouldn't. He has a point, but the
Phillip.
zonk is
Yeah, he does have a point, Philip. You may have to make sure you have wipes and shit. Make sure that place is sanitary. So John has said Leroy's hunting snipes. He's really hopeful this time. Chupacabra is what he's doing. Hunting chupacabra. All right. So we'll take the underline off. Leroy's out hunting for the perfect loaf of white bread. You know, he is a white bread connoisseur, sir.
Wasn't it just Wonder Bread, or I don't know. I thought he already had a brand that he preferred.
All right. So we're going to get these here numbers set up. And again, this is like any other countdown we have done on this channel. Please put the number if you want your number included and immortalized in the internet on this stream. Please put the number and what it is. And if Amanda, if you could do me a solid and do an example into the chat, because I do not have.
Sure.
Actually, I could do it right here. It's going to show up as Leroy. So number 0. There you go. Throw in your number and whatever it is. And I'm actually curious if there's any overlap, because I know we all have different tastes. So Amanda, what is your number 5?
My number 5 is Terror in the Trenches.
Oh, so Vaughn.
Yep.
Vaughn's
Von
book.
Klaus. Yep. And the reason why it sits at number 5 for me, because I was excited for this book for the fact that Monster MD is my favorite Comicscape book. So knowing that I liked that one as much, and a lot of the team was similar, there were some changes, but I'm like, if I like that one so much, this one should be a pretty cool one to grab. And he launched at midday, so I actually was at work. I excused myself to the bathroom so I could try to
bathroom.
get yes, so I could try to get as high as possible. And I'm trying to think. I think it was like number 4 or number 6, and then it ended up backing the wrong. I ended up changing. I refunded and I changed, so I wasn't as high. But anyways, changed my mind. That pressure of trying to get number 1, that you like grab the first thing and then you look at it and you're like, oh yeah, that's not quite what I want.
Yep. So for Von Stugel, who just popped in, we're doing our top 5 launches in Comicsgate.
Yeah.
So let me
launch
go hide
streams.
That. Launch streams or launches, or So my number 5 is Grokin and Grokin 2. Because if I don't put Grokin 2, I'm going to get the 3rd degree from Amanda live. Because I mentioned that Grokin 2 wasn't on my list. She was like, why? Are you not excited about Grokin 2? I'm like, God, have you seen my Twitter feed this week? I think I posted like one political thing, and then everything else has been Grokin all the time. All right. So again, both of both of these Kenneth Rutherford were, Groken was a straight ninja launch, and Groken 2, he wasn't on a stream. At least we knew when it was getting turned on. I turned on a celebratory, just, fans waiting. Instead of waiting by ourselves, let's go wait together kind of stream. Kenneth was in the chat, and it was a small intimate group, and I believe we all had fun.
Yep.
But they're on my list not because they were great launch streams, because Groken didn't have one, and then I think I was the only one awake doing a stream for Groken, so I wouldn't even consider that like a great stream, if you will. But I think it was the response from Comicsgate. Like my feed on Wednesday was 70. Like when Groken launched, and everybody knew like he ninja launched, it was like all of the chat, the entity. No, it's based. Which for me, the chat is anybody who's not a creator, who is a part of Comicsgate, right? The chat came out and started just pushing it everywhere. Like there was 2 hours straight where my entire feed was just Groken when Groken launched. And then when Groken 2 launched, we had our small intimate stream. But when we looked at the numbers, like the first time that I refreshed, it was 5 minutes and it was already at $9,000 at 3:05 in the freaking morning Eastern time.
Mm-hmm.
So that means there was a lot of comic skaters who were up, who either set their alarm or they'd wake up early or whatever, anticipating that this campaign went live. So yes, would we all have preferred that, Kenneth was on a stream? Yeah. But at least this time around, for Groken 2, Groken 1 exists. Because again, the pitch for Groken is, it's Groken. Go get it. Like, that's the pitch. But we had Groken 2, or we had Groken in our hands. We knew what time and what date Kenneth was launching, and Comicsgate was there.
Yep.
All right, so let's go see what the chat. So Pete Callan was Graveyard Shift 2 Spite campaign launch. Spite launches are always fun.
So there was a literal Spite launch? Like, what was it in spite of? Because I wasn't around for the Graveyard Shift 2.
It's spite of, you know what? Because that doggone closing stream, and then the Shane after party stream. So Pete Callan, if you want to explain yourself or write something really quick, I'll keep an eye on it. I don't think anybody else. So Stato has opinions. I usually like my launch around noon, like chips and a burger or something. And then Vanessa is broken hearted for sure. That ain't no lie.
Pete says it's due to Spiller.
Okay. So it's a Spiller launch. Okay. So Lord Raging Goblin says he can't remember this stuff. How am I supposed to choose? Like, just make a choice. Be decisive. Be decisive. You're a 42-year-old man. All right. Look at him. Then this list is invalid at the jump. Listen, the rest of the list will make sense. LOL, Vanessa is explaining it without Amanda even giving her the third degree. It's because she gave me the third degree in the backstage.
And she warned me.
Well, I mean, we wasted good material in the backstage. How dare you? I mean, if you're going to give me the third degree, at least let people witness it.
Don't worry, I'm sure there'll be more.
I need to say hello. Hello to my Twitter dad. And he says, for me, last Wednesday here counted as a launch stream. I am proud of it. Well, then I guess that was a launch stream. Mm-hmm. We'll take it.
I'm counting as a launch stream.
My struggle launch stream. English was hard. I mean, English is hard for me anyway. I'm not even gonna lie, but English was really hard for me that morning, and so was numbers. So it is still on. It's on this channel if you want to watch it. Like I said, it's an hour and a half. Um. So yeah. So now we go up to number 4.
My number 4 was Reaper Destroyer.
Okay.
And I picked this one because, and I know he's made it public, but I was part of the DM group that Joe turned to for ideas, suggestions, and everything leading up to the launch of this. So I was part of the, the backstage, seeing it happen, everything that went into the ideas. So the lead up almost made that one a little bit more pumped for me because I got to see everything in its final form the night of, and I think the countdown he did right. And then it was just great to see everything happen that night and to see it take off. Like, I knew he was going to do well, but I didn't think he was going to do as well as he did. So it was definitely great to see that too.
And you know what, Sontag and Sean, my God, I almost called him Justin Timberlake.
I would have known who you're referring to.
I know everybody in this chat would have known who you were referring to, but I think and again, this is why I like Comicsgate, because we're not a corporation. Everybody is their own little experiment, and if you want to do something different, granted, you take the risk of doing that experiment. But I think for them, that doing those ash cans and getting their work out there into people's hands. Granted, you kind of had to go slide in to somebody's DMs. I mean, as a grown man sliding into another grown man's DMs, I don't know how I feel about it, but a lot of people were very happy about what they received, and especially if you're an ash can collector or whatever. And again, it gets the art out there. I've heard good word of mouth from both of those ash cans. So I think that particular experiment, and I mean, in a way, Kenneth did that experiment too for Groken, because he set up a little Etsy shop. Those first print, ash cans, those were hand cut and hand stapled. So, if people were looking to clone Kenneth Rocafort, the material is out there.
He did what, 100 of them?
Yeah, 100 each.
Okay.
So, I mean, that's another way to do it.
Yeah.
And then Sis and Ronan is agreeing with you. Hey, that was a very exciting launch to watch.
It was.
All right. So mine is Starlight Cats.
Before my time.
Before your time. So this is, Shane, because that was that, I think he was like September, October, sometime like that, where he launched. So, but that was his first year. Within the first year of Comicsgate, probably within like 6 months, he's launching this thing. And, he's still on Metal Men. So, I'm sorry. Hold on. Where is my mouse? Jesus. Here you go. Vanessa doesn't know how old I am. I'm only 17. I can't be decisive. I mean, if you're only 17, you're about to be a man. You need to learn how to make decisions, sir.
Buck up.
It's time. I'm gonna accept that. If you're 17 for real, we're gonna call the man out of you. Go ahead, and Amanda's gonna do it because she's a mom.
What am I gonna do?
You're gonna
step up, be a man, make a decision.
There you go.
Do it.
Get out my house. That's what my mom told me at 18. So Starlight Cats. And again, so a lot of you guys weren't in Shane's chat when he first started streaming as a CGer. And let me tell you something, it was freaking bad. Like, and it was like, people went to start, because Ethan announced that, hey, we have Shane Davis is one of us. And, we started showing up, and the CG chat acted like the CG chat. And he's like, screw you guys. I'm about to stop the stream. I don't know what the hell you guys are doing. Like, he had no idea how to react. So for him and he started evolving as far as, how to present a stream persona and everything, but he was really shocked, that the cat book did as well, and it was on his own channel. So he did 20K in 1 hour, and he was just he didn't know how to act every time.
Didn't he also get stumbled upon the fact of the delay with the, you got backer numbers but not the money didn't fall in or something like that?
He'll be like, yeah, I have 43 backers, but I have no money. So I think that was exciting just watching him. And there's going to be probably my number 3 would be a surprising one. So let's go see if anybody's playing with us. So we got Pete Callan, Adam Post, Mermaids.
Okay. I know that I was there for that one.
That's a troll if I haven't seen one. All right. So so he says, okay, I choose Detective Dead. You hook me up with a number, bro. Can we play along just a little bit? If not, that's fine, chat. I still love you anyway. So Stato says, I was in when Shane started streaming. It's a very different show. I will say I miss the spirals where Shane will just go off about the industry. We haven't had a good spiral in a while, and I'm starting to itch like a crackhead. Like, Shane, are you gonna give me a spiral? Can I get a spiral? Yeah, and it was named Shane Shit Show. I mean, it's still a shit show. All right, so I have to recognize backer number 1 of Groken 2. He's asking, what is this list? Sumo Authority, this is your 5 favorite launches. And we're about to go into number 3.
Launch streams,
launches, because, well, that one I'm pointing. This one didn't have a stream. This one was just a surprise, and I guess I was the launch stream for number 2.
Mm-hmm.
Pete Callan's like, yeah, that's hilarious. Yeah, those damn spirals. John's helping a sister out. I appreciate it. Shane actually got a fan on camera to ask why he's trolling. And then Citizen Rodin says, hey, Adam Post just disappeared into the ether.
I still see him on Twitter every now and again. Not very often, though.
You know what? When I first came into Comicsgate, I would watch his Comicsgate videos and his breakdowns. And I mean, even reflecting on it, I think they're still pretty good and they have merit. I just kind of, and I mean, I don't want to talk about him.
Okay.
But
moving on.
Moving on, but we'll do this. Got disappeared, wink, wink. Well, I mean, Comicsgate likes mafia movies. So, that game disappeared kind of happens. All right, so number 3, Amanda.
My third one is Dwarf versus Lions, which was done on Bancroft's channel. Mm-hmm. And the hype leading up to this one was big in the streams that I was watching. And I think Brian did it well with making, some of the people in the chat the dwarfs, because that was what was like, wait, I want to be a dwarf too. So I was really eager for this one, and I backed myself as a dwarf, and I actually got number 1 on it and got the backing of the dwarf with number 1, which was kind of fun and exciting in itself, because of course you have to figure out which tier it is rather than whatever. But and then the funds for that one increased quite fast on Bancroft's as well. So the crack pack definitely came out in full force on that one. So that one was fun for me.
Cool. And I know a lot of people like that, campaign as far as the engagement end of it.
Mm-hmm.
So
although the gaming part got lost on me towards the end, I wasn't so excited about that. But.
So was that the picture of you with the dwarf? Was that your dwarf on the shirt?
On my shirt, yes, was me.
Yeah.
Yep.
So do you walk around that and people ask who is that? And you're like, it's me.
I haven't worn it out of the house yet.
Okay, she's like, listen, I'm new to this nerd shit.
No, you should see my closets. I have lots of clothes.
Oh, okay. She like it had them meet the rotation, Vanessa. Oh my goodness.
Right.
All right. So here's gonna be my surpriser for people. Black Flag launch. So that was before Amanda's time again. That was when Dan was on Couch Doodles was his channel, and this is also 2010. This is 2020 Dan Fraga. So be mindful of that. Um, so he launched on his channel. I forget. I think there's like 200 of us in the chat, and like again, I'm sure a lot of people, especially when you lost your first campaign, that must be nerve wracking. And then of course Dan Fraga, he's a different dude. He's a little bit emotional. So he launched it, and then when he refreshed it, like, and he saw that he had like $4,000, like the man started watering up, and then he got like his funding goal was something ridiculously low, but the chat had him funded in like 4 or 5 minutes, hit his funding goal, because uh, you always hope, but you never know until you actually, for a creator, they don't know how popular they are or how anticipated the IP actually is until people put money down. And John's asking, was that the launch which got Fraga's first channel struck? What got Dan Fraga's channel Couch Doodle struck and nuked off YouTube was him using a thumbnail of women in bikinis. I think it was booty, which is quite frankly nothing that you can't see on YouTube. So somebody went after him.
Preposterous.
But so that wasn't a launch. That was just a regular Fragga stream that happened on. I think that was fortuitous for him because he was using Couch Doodles and everything else was Fragga Boom. So he made his next channel Fragga Boom, and I think it fit better. All right, let's go see what the chat is saying as far as their list. Pete Callen says Wonder Island. Well, I mean, somebody has to,
Good choice, Pete. Good choice.
Good choice. Like, redheads need love too. Okay. Von Stugel says She Return of the Warrior. Yeah, look, Billy has some fun streams.
I think I missed that one too.
Yep. And we don't have any other numbers because everybody's like, you so much pressure. I'm supposed to remember. I've been here.
LRG is bringing the AAT.
He is. Well, I mean, and I understand when people say, like, how am I supposed to remember all this shit? Yeah, because time, my God, time in Comicsgate is not like regular time. I think Stato said it correctly here. CG from even 6 months ago is different from now. You ain't never lie. 6 months ago feels like 50 years ago. This Comicsgate time is off the chains. All right, so number two.
Number two is the Roach Ball launch. And the reason why this one stands out, this one was launched on Good Stuff Comicsgaters channel. And they put quite the production into it. Like, I have never seen this much work go into a launch, but they did, because a lot of what Good Stuff does is skits and funny comedy and some like pre-recorded stuff, and they did this with Roach Ball stuff. I think Dying Days of YouTube did like a new video that they premiered during that. They had an interview with Rich, and it was absolutely hilarious. Like, it was better than just listening to the panel guests chit chat and like, oh, let's check the numbers now. You know what I mean? And they put a lot of effort into that, and it definitely it was a great time. It really was.
So how high did you back Roach Balls?
Well, that ended up bringing a little bit of controversy for that one because I don't know what happened, but it's like the link that he had for the projects, I think, didn't refresh. Like, I don't know if he did like a separate account for the actual Roach Ball campaign, because every time, like, a lot of people in the chat were like refreshing the projects, and it probably took 10 minutes. No, probably not that long, but it seemed like a long time, and nobody was being backer numbers. And then finally Ollie got in there and he got number one. So there's a little bit of contention between me and Ollie from 656 about him getting backer number one, and then I might have been 3 or 4. 4 tends to be quite a popular number with my backings. So
yeah, so you're saying some schemes and scams?
Schemes and scams, definitely. Yes, yes.
Yeah, I don't. You know what? I was getting number 24 a lot when I was like trying to get number one. I'm over that part of stream or launches. As long as I get the perk that I want. So my number 2 is Cyber Frog. Screw you, Microsoft. That's spelled correctly. Wreck Planet. And I mean, again, 2020 CG was off the chains. So like Ethan was picking like March 15th, you know, when Caesar got stabbed.
The Ides of March. Yeah.
The Ides of March. And, you know, he launched that thing. And I swear he had like 5 bajillion backers within 2 seconds. The moment he made that thing live, he had so much money getting thrown at him. And that was nothing. And again, remember, this was the pandemic was starting. Everything was shutting down. This was definitely a part of CG big dicking it for a while against the SJ dubs. And I was loving every second of it. Like, that was a fun stream. And I think everybody who was on that stream had fun too.
Another one that's before my time.
Another one that's before your time. All right, yep. So P. Callan says number 2, whatever Wenger's awful book was called. So you're not talking about Super Harem. You're talking about the other one. I forget what that one was called. John calls Good Stuff's people the Good Stuff comedy troupe. I mean, there's a lot of production value that goes into that. So Von Stugel says number 2, Blood Honey. All right. And then, you know, Ethan is quite the showman. Like, for people who come into Comicsgate with some of these, you know, with some of these people who are like, oh, these guys have big personalities and blah, blah, blah. They didn't start there. Like, they got there, right? Because if you watch some of Ethan's early streams, and I understand, like, Ava was a baby and he was streaming, like, you know, in his living room, but he was like, let me see if I could do this impression. Hello, everybody. My name is Ethan Van Sciver, and today we're going to learn how to draw Batman. And it was like that. It was like, hello.
I think Wenger's book was what? Dragoon Knight Eldrake?
Something like that.
Quick something like that. Indiegogo search.
Yep, and then Pete Callan was like, yeah, that was jumping like 10K every minute or so. Like, it was a ridiculous launch stream. So Lord Ragey Goblin decided to be decisive, so we're gonna catch him up.
And a reluctant, like, okay, fine.
A reluctant participant in this countdown. So he said, okay, fine. Number 3 is Graveyard Shift 2. And number 2 is Jawbreaker's God King. All right. And we're going to leave your number 1. And yeah, Super Harem was awesome Wenger, but he wasn't the artist. I'm assuming that god-awful book was the one that he was the actual artist on. All right. So Amanda, number 1.
Number 1. It's going to be Groken 2. And it's going to be the
amazing.
That you did.
We got to talk about this because normally, Matt, you have a reputation of just cutting the Rocaforce down by, or at least attempting, because we're obviously the Rocaforce were a bunch of ninjas. So we just jump over your attempt to cut us off in the knees. We just jump and backflip over that and was like, woman, I thought we were friends. But okay, so Groken 2. The Groken 2 launch.
There was so much anxiety behind this launch. So leading up to it, you know, there's all the hubbub and the excitement. Of course, there's Groken 1, so you know how good Groken 2 should be. So I'm excited for that. And then the sketches, I was hoping, like, Broken One launched. I was up, saw that it was live, and could have backed a sketch tier then because there was still some available. But I didn't because that was a lot of money at that time that I'm like, I'm not sure. I hadn't quite dipped my toes into the water as much as I have since then. So I wasn't, I didn't back it. And ever since then, that has been like a big regret. So leading up to this one, I'm like, if he has sketch tiers on this one, I am getting a sketch tier. So yeah, Kenneth, look at that. Number one, you're number one on this list. All right. So then the anxiety. So you have that. And then I told you when you went live, I didn't realize that you had a live stream going. So I jumped in thinking we were just backstage and you're like, oh, we're live. I'm like, oh, we're live. And I was, groggy, wiping the crusties out of my eyes, whatever. But also just before then, I had woken up from a dream that I had about the Groken launch where I had my iPad and I had my phone and I started logging in to like get it live and tried to, go through with the purchase and it just wasn't working. And then it occurred to me that I'm like, oh my God, my, credit card's not attached to, not, I'm not signed in or whatever. So I'm like, okay, I put the iPad down, pick up my phone, and then like physically the phone felt different and I couldn't hit the buttons and I couldn't, I just woke up not being able to back, but wanting to back, like everything for me going wrong. So there was tons of anxiety and excitement for this launch, which is why it's number one.
And again, that was part of the reason why I did it just for me, because I wouldn't say necessarily, well, not like you. Oh my God, you told me that. I was like, I was like, I mean, everybody who was at the stream, and like I said, if you want to watch it for some reason, it's there. But I was like, Kenneth, you need to apologize to CG's mom. Do you hear this nonsense? She's gonna have to go to her therapist. But yeah,
all because of a launch.
Yeah, all because of a launch. And like I mean, I wasn't feeling it like that, but again, I just didn't want to be waiting by myself.
Mm-hmm.
I felt kind of, it was, as anticipated that I had, for that book, it kind of felt wrong that no one's doing anything for it. You know what I'm saying? Like it felt wrong that we weren't celebrating that. So we did that thing. And then for mine,
although hang on before we move on, and it was nice, like even though it really was a low-key launch, it was nice to have Kenneth there, and it was still great to watch. One of the best things about any launch stream is seeing the numbers getting dropped in the chat and seeing the numbers climb on the campaign page, and we had that with that launch. So it was definitely it was, despite being low-key, it was definitely what was needed.
Yeah, like I think Kenneth, he made 20K in 45 minutes, something like that. So yeah, like Comicsgate woke up. We tend to be night owl. A lot of us are night owls. And Comicsgate woke up, and our favorite George Travelos, he popped in to the chat to say hello.
Yeah.
He was looking for Leroy, but like I said, Leroy is hunting Chupacabra. All right, so my favorite launch so far in Comicsgate, Glorious Rex. The cat book, so Shane's second campaign, he executed the cat book. And granted, first, give the man credit that he sold a cat book to a whole bunch of 42-year-old men, right? But the cat book was good. And then I'm sure the people who weren't into Starlight Cats was hearing like, oh, it's good. And then something more. He released an IP that's something more in line of what a typical Comicsgate backer would back. But that launch was bananas. So like what we do in our back room is sometimes we guess. We try to like be Nostradamus up in here. All of our guesses were wrong. All of our guesses were wrong because we did not freaking understand how this was. It was because what he beat the entirety of Starlight Cats in like an hour and 15 minutes. It was freaking ridiculous. Like that's still amazing. And not only that, it was the other things that were attached to it. So this man getting a sandwich, even with the bologna string still attached, because Yanzi didn't know you had to take the casing off. And that was a fine looking sandwich too. We got to give Yanzi credit. That was a fine looking sandwich that she presented to her husband on that stream. And Shane just eating it. So that, and then the Sumo Shane. So Sumo Shane was agreed upon verbally by Shane. He was like, hey, if I make 200K, which I'm sure he thought that was a ridiculous number and it was never going to hit it, right? He was like, if I make 200K, I will put on a Muashi and I will do all of this sumo stuff. And we got it on stream. Like, he verbally agreed to it. So when it was 6 digits, after an hour, I went on USA Sumo, bought him a Muashi, sent him him and Yanzi a message saying it's coming in your mailbox. The Muashi has been purchased. And he was like, for real? This is what we're doing? So yeah, so Inglorious Rex gave me 2 glorious moments, with the sandwich and then with Sumo Shane. And to bring in Groken, Kenneth Rocafort, a rare Kenneth Rocafort sighting where he actually asked for the link. Kenneth was like, give me that link. I want to be there when Shane does his, Sumo Shane stuff. So he was there. I still have that link saved. And every now and then I do watch it, it makes me smile. And Kenneth there giggling in the background and like giving him encouragement. That was hilarious too. All right, so let's get with the chat, what they say. So Lord Ragey Goblin, Wrecked Planet. That's a good one. And John was like, LOL, yeah, I caught some of those, some of the EVS ASMR streams. Yep. And again, because again, normally Amanda is the one that's cutting at the Rocaforce. But for her to put it on number 1, he's like, oh my. So Pete Callan says Wrecked Planet. Yeah, because that was a bonkers stream. So Jawbreakers 1 Lost Souls. I heard that was before my time too. But I've heard that was a bonkers stream too. Here we go. I found Kenneth's art the same time I jumped headfirst into being a serious comic collector. Kenneth can do no wrong to me. Thank you. All right. So John said this explains why Amanda was giving the 3rd degree in the back room. It does.
Mm-hmm.
It does. So Sumo Authority, I think I only got number 1 5 times. Tiger Blue, CG Vacation, Groken 2, Perfect 10, issue 3, and the Ballad of the Celestials. Why do you have to Sumo Authority? Why do you have to like just show off and be like, hey, this is
flexing.
This is all my number 1s, and
down at the bottom, Vanessa. Down at the bottom. Broken.
Well, I mean,
news.
I hold on. I'm refreshing over here.
Okay.
Because you guys, come on now, you had a tablet broken on it. All right, so bring it over here, just in case. So I can't do math because numbers are hard. But Wednesday, today's Saturday, so we'll call that under 4 days. So in under 4 days, Groken 2 has passed Groken 1. That's amazing.
Congrats, Kenneth.
That is amazing. So the next evil to beat is this evil right here, because I think it's like actually I have it right here. 1,137 backers. That is the next evil. That this little campaign this little bitty independent campaign by an entrepreneur named Kenneth Rocafort needs to do to beat the evil. So there you go. Let me get over here. All right, cool. Pete Callen was like, "Ha! I knew that was your answer, Vanessa." I mean, I think you
Surprise,
guys kind of,
surprise.
yeah. I think maybe you may know. There you go. 2 for Shane, 2 for Roquefort. So Twitter Dad says, I really appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. So the bottom. Well, you're welcome because we appreciate you. So John says, Sumo Shane would have never happened without you, Vanessa. Leroy's the one who negotiated it. I just jumped on that, and we had to hold him to his word. And in all fairness to Yanzi, she wasn't having it. She was not about that life. She well, that and she was still pregnant, and she helped put that doggone Muwashi on you. I remember watching eating that bologna sandwich string, asking about it, and he soldiered through, of course. Well, there's a backstory to that. Like, they didn't have sandwich stuff in the house for a sandwich. So he had to like text a friend and like, hey, can you go to the store and get me like things to make a sandwich? Like I'm about to make $100,000 and I promise these people a sandwich. I'm sure he sounded like a crazy person because I'm not sure if his friend, like his in real life, kickboxing friends know what he does or gives a damn. So there is that. I knew Shane was going to crush Starlight Cats. He had all the right momentum riding into Rex. It was a very similar vibe to the mail-in launch. Yeah, sometimes everything is just vibing, and this is about to crush it. So, Lord Raging Goblin, honorable mentions: Cash Grab, Rainbow the Brute, Black Flag, Warts and All, Graveyard Shift 3, and Red Rooster. I don't know. So many good streams. There are. There's a lot of good memories that come out of like launch streams. Some ridiculousness too. And I mean, I'm glad everybody had, well, at least one of you had a good time with the launch stream of Red Rooster, because I know with the events that happened, people weren't happy with the end. So top launch stream, Finatra, yeah. And how you doing, Dongs? So Finatra.
Did he actually launch that? I don't know.
No, he was just, it's fun,
Oh,
it's fun.
I know there's a sign up for it though.
Yep. So Kenneth is doing the whole double, hands clapped together, little pumps over the shoulder, like thank you.
In the dark.
Yep. So Sumo Authority's like, LOL, little campaign. Yeah, I mean, it's just a little campaign that could. It's like a little choo-choo train doing what it do. All right. Let me get what I had. We'll just pop that up here. We'll refresh just in case. Is that a picture of Kenneth with what?
Huh? I'm not sure what he's referring to.
I have no idea. Yeah, Yazzie doesn't drive, and Shane was too drunk to drive, had to phone a friend. So Sato says, Wrath of God, it was great to see Aaron succeed. And yeah, that was his second campaign. Garbage Man, unfortunately, didn't make it. And then they caught some heat when they came over here. We're talking about launch streams themselves and not necessarily the way the campaign shook out in the end, correct? Yes, just the launch stream. Just the launch stream.
There's some good closing streams too, though.
Yeah, and maybe that'll be a list for another time. All right. So we've been going for an hour and a half, which I find is amazing. So I'm going to stop sharing for a second. So normally, this part of the stream, we will be talking about some sandwiches. And obviously, I didn't upload. Yeah, I've been slacking as of late, and it's not like there was a lot of entries anyway. So what the heck is a straw poll? So we're going to do a little straw poll to determine the fate of Sandwich Saturday, because Sandwich Saturday was for the chat, so the chat should decide what should happen with Sandwich Saturday. Amanda, start filibustering as I'm making this.
Yada yada
That's cool.
yada yada. Yeah. So, when did we start Sandwich Saturday? Probably almost a year and a half ago, because I think it was
Yeah,
when I started.
it was January of 2021.
Yeah. So we've had many Sandwich Saturdays. We've had, quite a few people enter over the course of time. Some streams there's only been like maybe 2 or 3. So we're not sure if, Sandwich Saturday has lost its charm or if it still continues. I know for one, I enjoyed it for the most part, but there were times I'm like, oh man, it's Friday. I need to figure out what I'm making for a sandwich. And I don't normally keep sandwich stuff always in my house. So it's like, oh, gotta make sure to add stuff to the shopping list. So, sometimes it was a bit of a job for me. But and then it's not just a sandwich for me. It's like you need to make it look good. You need to take a good picture. At least for me. I know Vanessa, I think you said you normally just take a picture of what you're eating and that's what you're doing.
No, like I shop, but like I think we could firmly say like I don't necessarily like cooking. So part of it is like, what the hell? What do I know how to make? Can I find a recipe? Can I find these ingredients in the which most of the time I can, unless they're like super super exotic.
Yeah. So you
and
look
then
up
like
recipes for your sandwiches?
Yeah, if it's not like a freaking like grilled cheese sandwich.
Okay.
Like some of these chicken pesto sandwiches, I didn't just come up with that out of my head.
I'm thinking you're like using your leftovers sometimes. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I have some artichoke. Let's just add it.
No,
look, there's my leftover pork tenderloin. We're gonna make a sandwich out of it.
Yeah, I do like using what in the hell? Do not show. I'm glad I'm not sharing my freaking screen. Oh my god, my address just freaking popped up.
That's a good thing.
I'm like freaking. So here we go. Paste. So can I paste it over here too?
I see it in the chat now.
Okay, so the ghost of Leroy also posted in the chat. All right, so this is up to you. This is like the gladiators. Do they win or do they die? You decide if we keep on doing Sandwich Saturday. There you go. So John says my grilled cheese sandwich only has 2 ingredients. I'm assuming grill and cheese.
Cheese and bread?
I mean, you gotta have some sort of fat, right?
Yeah, you get a butter. So there's 3. You gotta have the butter because then that's what makes it nice and crispy and grills.
All right.
Although I've been having a sandwich lately that I've been really enjoying, and I first saw it at Dunkin' Donuts. Like it was a new sandwich that they did at Dunkin' Donuts, and I'm looking at it, I'm like, I can do that, and that sounds so good. So it's actually a grilled cheese, but you have pesto and tomatoes, and it's really good.
You know that most of the viewers in the stream are men, right?
Yeah. They can grill a cheese. They probably won't add the pesto or the tomato.
Yeah, you said like pesto and tomatoes, and that's automatic. It's like no.
It really ups the grilled cheese. Yeah. Well, I've also done in this, for Sandwich Saturday, I've done a macaroni and bacon grilled cheese, like the little bits of bacon with the macaroni as a grilled cheese.
Okay.
I've seen that at like some specialty places.
I don't know, Amanda.
Specialty grilled cheese places.
All right, let me go check. We dropped off as what happens when we start doing sandwiches.
Yeah, everybody's leaving.
It's like, oh yeah, but like, oh, we're done talking about the important shit. Let's get out of here. Dongs has left. Like everybody's either that or everybody is voting.
I say, how do you know? He might be the one that voted no.
No one has voted no. So far we have yes, keep it going. and one for how about a summer hiatus, and that one is me.
Oh, okay. I didn't see the 3 options. I only saw 2. I was gonna say I thought maybe he's the one that voted for the hiatus.
See, here we go. Pete Callen. I looked at the poll and thought, damn it, why doesn't someone make Vanessa a sandwich instead? You know, seeing that I identify as a comic skater, and apparently we're all 42-year-old men, Pete Callen does have a point. Somebody should make me a sandwich.
Yeah.
You know?
Isn't that what you're
was
hunting
like,
for? A sandwich every now and again?
oh, I mean, I guess that's better than hunting chupacabra. Although that does sound like a fun hunting trip. You know,
Went to Amarillo to figure out what that creature was.
Amarillo, he could go to Mexico. You know, there's chupacabra in Puerto Rico. You know, he could go everywhere. It's Leroy's fault he quit participating. Or Leandro. Yeah, we should. Well, I mean, Leandro he's been hard in the paint for Rocaforce as of late, so we're gonna let that one slide.
Yeah.
John's like hashtag forever 42. That is true. All right, so we have 7 votes, 9 watching. I think this is pretty definitive that we're gonna, or at least I'm gonna stop being lazy and make the chat a sandwich.
Okay.
There you go. Pete Callen is saying that the musket is preferred hunting tool for the cabra. You know, in a previous job, I actually fired muskets a lot. That wouldn't be too bad. But no, I appreciate the second person who put about a summer hiatus, but it's looking like I just need to stop being lazy and make this chat a sandwich.
Okay.
Fine, chat. That is what I will do. All right, so
won't be next week though.
It won't be next week because unfortunately, chat, I double booked myself. So I'm going to a music festival. Screw it. You guys know I live in Idaho. So I'm going to the Boise Music Festival next Saturday. If you just have, I'll be walking around with the all caps comic book hat. So for some reason, if someone out there happens to be a comic skater and happens to be at that festival and you see a little meatball walking around with the all caps cap on, say hello. But besides that, so we're going to take a break next week. And then let me see what we got going on. So then the Saturday after that is July 2nd. So I'll get with the other panel members and make sure that that is if they're around, because again, it's the premier American holiday. So I'll see if everybody's around. So we'll say 50. You know what? Screw it. I will turn on this stream and either we have a panel and we have a show, or we're just hanging out for an hour together on the 2nd. And then we're going to be sniping on the 9th. We're going to be sniping Shay. For the art auction, that's on July 9th on Shay's. I know that's a little bit, it's borderline shilling, but like,
don't forget, Rookport's going to make an appearance.
Yeah, that's why I said I can't help it, because my Twitter dad is going to be on there selling art, and that he doesn't sell original art like that. So put that in your calendar, the 9th on Red Valkyrie's channel. So LOL, I'm trying so hard not to ask personal questions. Vanessa makes it difficult with I used to fire muskets thing.
I say, didn't you? I think that's public knowledge, isn't that?
Yeah, I used to work at the National Park Service at Valley Forge National Historical Park. I needed to take a breath. That's a lot of words. And I was a historic weapons coordinator. So I used to fire muskets and cannons as part of my job. It was fun.
Vanessa was able to use the big guns.
We went boom. And then Lord Raging Eagle, and I think this is the last point to add, there's nothing more American than Comicsgate.
Hail CG.
Hail CG. I don't know if I want to go. We're gonna hold on. Yeah. Should I rant about Roquefort? No, that's shilling. This is Saturday. Woo. The rules are still the same.
You don't think
The,
we covered Groken enough tonight?
the rules are still the same. I am, but you know what? Screw it. It can't help it. This is the official home of the Roqueforts. I am tickled that that little campaign that could has made this much money in such a small period of time, and we still have miles to go in the funding period. And oh, by the way, if you haven't known, my Twitter dad, he's being kind of coy about this in demand thing.
Oh yeah.
He's holding it a little close to the chest, and I'm kind of side-eyeing him, but like, you shouldn't be teasing us like this. So I am operating under the assumption, because a good indicator of future behavior is past behavior. So he did a straight 60 days with no demand. I am operating under those procedures that he's doing 60 days with no demand. But to my knowledge, in demand is on the table. That's up to him to decide.
I think how he described it is it's not off the table.
It's not on it. And you know, so there is that. But still tell your friends, hey, we definitely know 60 days. All right. He's a koi? All right. So again, hey guys, we're taking a break next week. We'll come back on the 2nd. If anything,
yeah, thanks for everyone that hung out with us.
Yep. So enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy the 25th. Hail Comicsgate and
Sumo.
And Sumo Authority, and we will see you.
No,
what?
We aren't hailing Sumo at this point.
I'll hail Sumo whenever I want.
Well, he's not my favorite at the moment.
He has heartburn. Oh, I see why. There you go. That's why. It's a little bit of that.
Yep. That's okay. Although we'll see what the prices go for, but I think it's going to be out of my budget too.
All right. So guys, enjoy the rest of your Saturday, and we will talk to you on the 2nd of July.
Peace out.